Hello everyone, and welcome to the Kalispell College Warhawk Dynasty. It's great to be here and kick off a project I have been very excited about. It's finally here. Dynasty is back, and our new journey is going to be a fun one. We have a brand new football team in a very unique location, Kalispell, Montana. Building and developing a football program here is going to be a great challenge. When you think of Kalispell, you probably don't think about football. It's probably not even one of the first sports that would come to mind. It's a great place for those who enjoy winter sports and the outdoors. However, I should mention, NFL quarterback Brock Osweiler did play his high school football in Kalispell. So now we have a new team, and we're building from the very bottom in the Mountain West Conference. The state of Montana isn't exactly producing a bunch of football talent. As we recruit and bring in new players, we will look to places like California, the Pacific Northwest, and the other mountain states. I've already mentioned this is going to be a very challenging task, and this is going to take the leadership of a great coach to get this accomplished. The Kalispell Warhawks will be coached by Leon Daniels. That is right, the former University of Minnesota linebacker. He was there for 4 seasons. Leon Daniels leads the way here at Kalispell as our journey gets underway. And he has a staff that I think you're all going to be very excited about. He has brought his former teammate to be his defensive coordinator. And the man calling the shots on that side of the football is Jonathan Starks. Starks was an electric playmaker and an All-American from Minnesota. However, he was undersized, and ultimately he went in the direction of coaching and joined Leon Daniels here at Kalispell. On the offensive side, the coordinator is Evan Newton, former quarterback at UTSA. He is very familiar with many of the things we're going to do schematically on offense, but we'll talk more about scheme here in a little bit. Let's talk about the players here for the Kalispell Warhawks. Who is on this football team, and who is going to be leading the way for the first season of Warhawk football? Now first, this team is mainly comprised of freshmen and sophomores. Many teams that are just starting up have a year of just practice where they don't play any games, but it gives them a couple years to build a roster, and those first players that become sophomores for their first actual season of play usually become the leaders. So let's begin with our defensive captain and my favorite player on this roster, Marcus Calhoun, middle linebacker. He stands at 6'1", 235 pounds. He was originally recruited to be a safety, but put on some muscle, and he's going to be the Mike linebacker of our defense. He's a good athlete that can stop the run, and he's going to be the player we build around here in our initial years. Now to the offensive side, our captain on that side of the football. Surprise, it's our quarterback, another sophomore. Number 5, Austin Bradley, 6'2", 200 pounds. Bradley is a pocket passer, does not have a very strong arm, but should have the accuracy to help us get our pass game going. He's not the only quarterback you will likely see this year. Back to the influence of Evan Newton and what we're going to do schematically. Marquise Walker, our freshman quarterback, is also expected to play. Walker is a mobile quarterback, but he likely doesn't have the arm to be a full-time starting quarterback. He may not be a dynamic quarterback, but he will open up what we can do on offense. Also on offense, we have maybe the most exciting playmaker on this team, true freshman Troy Evans. Evans will play some receiver, some running back, returner, and he can throw the football as well. He doesn't have one specific trait that really stands out, but he can give us a jolt on the offensive side as well as in the return game. Evans stands at 5'9", 172, and we'll see if he can be the gadget player I hope he can be. I'll talk about some more players here soon, but let's talk about the schemes we're going to be running now as a team. When you have a team that is just a brand new team and it wasn't a team built with a particular vision, because let's face it, we can't be picky here about our talent. We're a brand new program in Montana, and we have to find a way to make this work. We don't have the talent you need to run a full ground and pound offense. nor are we prepared to be one of the spread offenses you see these days. We're going to have a little bit of everything in this offense, and one of our biggest things is going to be aggression. That is the theme of the first year, aggressiveness. We can't be complacent because that's going to give teams the opportunity to beat us on either side of the football. That means we're going to try and create big plays whenever we can, whether it's a trick play, running the option, screens. We're going to get a lot of different players involved, and we're going to find what we can do to score points. One week it may be more of an option look, one week it could be more of the wildcat. We're going to have to be creative this year, otherwise we're going to have a hard time keeping up with our opponents. Likewise on defense, we don't have the personnel to fit one specific scheme where we focus on a few things and do them well. We're going to be an aggressive defense, lots of zone blitzing. We're just not equipped to play man coverage, rush with a 4-man rush. We need to get after the quarterback in aggressive ways. Like I said, we can't just sit back, play a generic brand of football and expect to win games and have success in year one. Our players aren't the biggest, they're not the fastest, and they weren't recruited by major schools. However, we're going to find who can lead this team and who can be the playmakers of the first chapter of Kalispell football. Perhaps one of those players will be strong safety Otis Frazier, who's a freshman. Doesn't have a lot of speed, he's more of a box safety, 6 foot, 213 pounds. He can lay the big hits, he's a good tackler. Probably won't be used in deep coverage too often, but hopefully he can play well close to the line of scrimmage. Back to offense, our starting running back is going to be the sophomore Eddie Benson. He is a power runner at 5'10", 215 pounds, doesn't possess a lot of speed, but he's going to be our go-to back when it comes to running between the tackles and down in the red zone. One of the areas I will first look to build on this roster is the offensive line. Our best lineman right now is the sophomore Norris Medlock at 6'6", 290 pounds. He will play at right guard. And with him being our best run blocker, expect a lot of runs to the right side of this line. We will see more of this roster later, as the next episode will be the Kalispell Inter-Squad Scrimmage, the blue and white game. Before we get into the first regular season of Kalispell football, we will see where this team is at with a little inter-squad game, splitting up the roster and pitting them against each other. It'll be a good chance to see some players to keep our eyes on when the games start to count, and to talk more about this roster and introduce you to these players. You can expect this scrimmage episode early next week. I'm very excited to bring this. It's something completely new I've never done. But that is going to bring an end to the first episode here in the Kalispell Warhawks Dynasty. Thank you all for remaining patient. This is the first big team builder series I've ever tried, and it takes a lot of time to get everything just the way I like it. I can't tell you how much time I spent just getting the uniforms right because it looked different on the website than they do in the game itself. I had a lot of help though from Blackjack. I've talked about him in the channel update announcement for this series, and he has started his own Teambuilder Dynasty I'm very excited to follow along with. Definitely check his channel out and his first episode in his new Dynasty, and you'll also see him at some points throughout this series, probably more on the recruiting side of things. Anyway, I am just excited to have this first episode complete, and now we can begin the build of the Kalispell football program. I will still be tweaking things like our depth chart and formation subs, and the appearance for each player, their equipment, so don't worry about that stuff quite yet. There's still a lot of editing to do on that front, but the creation of the team is now complete. I'm very happy with that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this team can do. Year one should be a challenge, and I can't wait to see what kind of journey we have with this new football team. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting my content here on the channel. Please let me know what you thought of this first episode down below in the comments section. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and let me know which players you're most excited to see. I know I didn't show that many, but which ones are your favorites so far? I'd like to see the feedback down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.